question that I was supposed to ask for Christian in Texas. Will opposing factions be able? There's going to be faction-specific planets.
You want an interview specifically?
Yeah, we're
Daniel. Yeah.
I feel like you're randomly going around, so I want to make sure you actually have an interview. You've got Daniel Erickson.
Oh, perfect. I was just waiting for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you got
ready?
Yeah.
Good interview. And it's right behind you. Hey,
hi. How's it going?
Good.
So we're streaming live for GameSpot.
How's it going, GameSpot?
It's going good, especially now that we get to talk to you. So for the record, can we get your name and title?
Daniel Erickson, and I'm the lead writer for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Very cool. What's your favorite faction?
Oh, we don't pick our babies.
Now, of course, this is a LucasArts game, so the events are canon. Yeah. I'm just answering the easy ones. This is going to be a purchase and monthly subscription game.
Haven't talked at all about pricing models yet.
Okay. Do you have any notion on release or when you're going to do open beta?
Release is still slated for 2011. That's as far as we've said. And open beta is probably not like something that the game's a little bit too big for a fan base to say everybody who wants to come can come. If there's a closed beta, it'll be real close to release date. So you'll probably end up knowing both at the same time.
All right. How much acrobatics will the actual character model be portraying?
Quite a bit, actually. There's some pretty cool, like, big spin kicks and flips and flying through the air that we've got a lot more dynamic combat than most MMOs. People fly around, get knocked back, etc., and a lot of that involves chasing around the screen, which makes it pretty fun.
All right. So now, is there then going to be 2 prestige classes for each base class?
There are 2 advanced classes for each one, yeah. And then within each advanced class, there's some very, very different choices. So right now, in the test we're doing right now, I'm playing a Sith Assassin, but I'm actually playing a Sith Assassin tank, as opposed to going the sneaky backstabber, yes.
Interesting. What else? What other question? So I'm noticing on the Sith Marauder here, this is a question that I ask a lot of people when I see dual-wielding classes. Are his lightsabers going to be individual items equipped, or is it a single pair?
Individual items.
All right. Are there going to be, like in Old Republic and Old Republic 2, you could have melee weapons equipped with feats to make them function more like lightsabers? Is that going to be in the game?
There is not a melee weapon non-lightsaber class of players. There are ones for companions.
Okay. How hard is it to get a lightsaber, or are they just everywhere?
It's pretty hard. You really have to earn your original ones, and they show up very, very rarely. You're not going to stumble around a lot of lightsabers sitting on corpses.
How about Force crystals?
Same thing. So there is a full upgrade system for the lightsabers, which is actually different than the upgrade system for some of the other things.
Oh, cool.
And fits in very well with the crafting system.
All right. That's a question I already answered. Someone from Finland wants to know if you are in fire.
I have been in fire the whole time, and we continue to be in fire.
All right. Not ready to talk price points. I'm going to assume the only characters that will have anything like a jetpack are going to be the bounty hunter.
Correct. There are the occasional NPCs, but again, it tends to go into the Mandalorian set and those folks.
Yeah. Is there going to be a day and night system, or is the time of day going to be qualified by the location?
Time of day comes from which planet it is. We decided to basically go for art resolution over the changeability for different environments.
All right. JC from Lithuania wants to know what the average length of character origin story is.
Most of the origin stories run about 4 to 6 hours, depending on who's playing.
Okay. Is there a different origin for each class, or for each faction?
Each class. There's a different origin story and a different, remember, entire class story all the way front to back for every class.
All right. Do you have any notion on system requirements that you can talk about yet?
No, we don't. It's pretty generous now, and we're pushing them down as hard as we can. It's a big part of endgame polish.
Are you going to have it compatible with any of the other Razor accessories, like the Hydra?
I have no idea whatsoever.
All right. Because I was at Razer yesterday and got this really sweet Old Republic branded setup, which you might want to go check out.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they're doing stuff with us. So
yeah, I'm just going by what they want me to ask. Christian from Texas wants me to ask you about cross-faction communication.
It's still undecided. So right now it's in. We've had it in, we've had it out. It's going to be a big decision between how the community handles it and what testing is. If it's a griefing issue, it'll probably come out.
Okay. One of the guys wants to know if you can still make your companions cry like little girls.
Yeah. In fact, it is very possible to, some of the companions we've already seen is Vet, who you get as a slave, and if you don't take that collar off, you can basically have her just sitting in the corner of the ship, unwilling to talk or do anything else after a while.
Nice. What's the level cap going to be?
50 right now.
50 right now. How many endgame dungeons will there be?
I haven't announced. We've only announced one so far, and that's the Eternity Vault that we just pulled the cover off of yesterday.
Awesome. Will it have multi-monitor support?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
I think someone mentioned that each player has some sort of vehicle.
Yeah, so players have their own personal, like once they get up high enough, they get their personal vehicles. Obviously, you get your starship, which you can fly around, but also these guys right here, as you see, are flying around on their personal speeders.
Very cool. How many races are involved?
There, 8, 9. I mean, if we're talking player characters, I think we've announced 8 or 9 species.
All right.
And
so like humans, Zabrak, Twi'lek.
Yeah. Those are all like there's a bunch of different species.
Gimmies, someone wants to know about Wookiees.
No Wookiees.
No Wookiees.
Nothing way into the non-human category. It makes the role play aspect a little odd.
Do you guys classify Mandalorians as separate from humans?
We do not. Mandalorians in our time period are a culture, not a species.
Yeah. The Mandalorian species died off centuries before this happened.
Well, they're apparently not entirely dead, but they have
really.
But the culture is much larger than just the people.
Nice. How large is the map? Can we teleport between galaxies?
There is only one galaxy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. In Deceived, the main Jedi severs ties with the Jedi Council. Will I be able to do this in the game?
Not in the shipped product, but there's definitely some cool storylines that are going to expand out the politics of the Jedi later.
Is there going to be space combat?
There is going to be space combat.
All right. What happens if your ship gets destroyed?
You just go back to where you started from.
All right. Is there going to be a bank or auction house system?
There are both, and they are in and playable on the show floor.
Very cool. Is there going to be a daily time limit to how much you can play?
No, there is not, although we do have the rest XP in, so obviously if you give it a break, you get that. There may be some daily limits on things like flashpoints, but definitely not on full playtime.
Let's see. I asked about multi-monitors. I asked about that. Oh, are you going to be able to have love interests in the game?
Absolutely. Far more than you've ever seen in any BioWare game, because every actual class has their own companion characters. So we got to write a whole bunch of different types of romances.
Are you going to be able to do stuff like pod racing for extra money?
For extra XP and things like that, there's a space game, there are war zones, there are no little mini games coming in yet.
All right. Have you guys released any details about PvP?
We haven't released any new stuff on PvP for this show.
All right. Do NPCs speak verbally or through text?
Verbally. Everything is fully VO'd, entire game, including your character.
We already covered that you have not qualified Jedi going to the dark side.
We have not.
You haven't released anything on whether Jedi can go to the dark side.
Absolutely to the dark side. There's a huge
Really?
difference between. You have to remember that splitting out from faction and things, right? Anakin's very dark side, still hanging out with the Council.
True. And not every dark Jedi is a Sith. Because again, the Sith was more of a culture than.
Correct.
Yeah. Are you going to feature any of the other light and dark side factions that aren't part of the two main warring factions, like the Dark Sisters of whatchamacallit?
Like the Witches of Dathomir and that
That's the
sort of
one.
stuff.
The Witches
See,
of
I knew where
Dathomir.
you were going.
Thank you.
We're really concentrating on the core conflict here, but
Alright.
obviously there's lots of room to move out later.
Awesome. Is there going to be much in the way of stuff that people can just play by themselves without having to worry about? Yeah. Okay. We've spent quite a bit of time here. I think it is time to move on.
I think he's just saying don't point it at the screen of nothing happening.
Oh, sorry. That works too, but we have spent quite a bit of time monopolizing you here, and I'm sure you've got a lot of important things to do. Is there anything you want to say as a parting comment?
Just that it's on the show floor. Everybody can come. We just brought the game, so people can run around, do whatever they want, explore, poke at the parts of the game they're really excited about, and it's been a big hit. Although a lot of people aren't ready to play a level 26 character that they haven't played before, so we've got a lot of corpses.
Yeah, that actually brings up one of the other questions. Do you know yet if there's going to be AoE looting? If you can loot all the corpses around you, or just one at a time?
Just one at a time right now.
Yeah.
But what we do is actually, we don't have everything show up with loot. So when you fight 3 guys, on average, loot only shows up on one of them.
All right. Thank you very much. Your name again was?
Daniel Erickson.
And you are?
Lead writer, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.